The art of being yourself. That's a hard thing to do sometimes. I feel like that's a hard thing to do nowadays. But is it though? I feel like growing up, I was always really different. Like I saw things differently. I feel like I saw the world differently. I mean, it comes with being a creative. I feel like a lot of creatives tend to see things in ways that like maybe like the average person wouldn't see. I would say it's a gift and a curse, but I don't believe it's a curse. I do think it's a gift, being able to not only see things from unique perspectives, but also like showcase those things to the world, if that makes sense. Like viewing the world from our own lens and like creating a representation of that and putting it into our art. I think that's really beautiful. I feel like in an age where everything and everyone is online, sometimes I feel like it might be really easy to lose yourself when you see so much of other people, so much of like other people's lives and their story. I feel like sometimes it can be easy to kind of like lose yourself in a way. And like, what's that thing they say, like you are what you eat? I know it's not the same, but like you are what you eat, but think about like you are what you consume if you think about it from that perspective. And I feel like with us consuming so much media and so many things online, on social media, even on TV, do we ever get like lost in that? Like, do we, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's possible to like lose yourself in that. You know, I feel like nowadays with the like overconsumption of things, and it's something that I am trying to be like really, really mindful of myself in what I consume, how much I consume, and things like that. Like, I feel like sometimes that overconsumption can kind of like influence us, whether it's good or bad. I also think that maybe we should allow more space for us to like be ourselves, like spending more time with ourselves. I feel like when I was younger, like I said, I've always been kind of like different or weird. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like people, especially when you're a kid, like kids tend to like be judgy, like to the point where a large portion of my life was spent like hiding my true self from people because I was so afraid of being perceived as myself. And it's really interesting showing up in this space, like online on YouTube, and like talking and sharing parts of myself. It's kind of like allowed me the space to like open up a bit more and be myself. And I'm on this like journey of like authenticity and not hiding who I am, and like feeling more comfortable being myself. And coming from someone who spent like a big portion of their life almost like, yeah, hiding, almost with like a shield up or guard up or whatever you want to call it. And over time realizing that that takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of energy to hide who you are, or to shrink yourself or lessen yourself, and not being your full self. If you think about it in a way of like you're almost like holding your true self in, and like how much energy that requires to hide and shield and limit yourself, almost filter yourself, maybe presenting yourself through a filter. That's kind of how I've talked about it before, when I realized like how I was showing up in the world. I was showing up for many years of my life in a way of like thinking about how other people perceive me, and like trying to be someone for other people, or trying to be perfect in the sense for other people, or at least be liked. I would say maybe just making sure I'm like, everyone likes me, so let me just be, you know, the person that people like. But I feel like now I'm in a space of like, ooh, it's just like releasing that baggage and weight of pretending. And I'm in a space where I would rather use my energy on other things. I would rather use my energy yeah, on other things, as opposed to like trying to not even pretend, but just like almost hide or water myself down. And I don't always get it right. I'm still a work in progress. I still have this thing about being perceived and seen, and I still have things where I'm like dealing with like whether it's social anxiety or being around other people and showing up in a certain way. And I just got to the point where I had to kind of like just give myself permission to just be and just be myself. It's that quote that I say like be yourself, everyone else is already taken. I know it's an old quote, but it's very true. I feel like the beauty of who we are. Yo, this light. Yeah, this lighting is gonna be weird. But I feel like there's so much beauty in who we are as individuals. There's so much beauty in ourselves. Like we are all individually made. And if we spend so much time trying to like water ourselves down or not be perceived or hide or shrink, it gets tiring. You know what I mean? So I was just thinking about the idea of the art of being yourself. Like, I think it's time to kind of like get back to ourselves and like remembering those things that make us unique, remembering those things that like make us us, and like celebrating those aspects of ourselves instead of criticizing ourselves or admonishing ourselves. Is that even the word? That is a word, huh? You know what I mean? Like I feel like as humans we tend to be really like hypocritical of ourselves, and I think we don't always view ourselves from the same lens as like other people may view us. And if we take that hypercritical lens off and just see ourselves for like just who we are and recognize like there's so much beauty in that, we would be so much better off. We would be so much better off if we didn't spend so much time judging each other and being so critical of each other. And the reason I feel like that is because we're so critical of ourselves. It's so easy to judge other people and criticize other people because we don't want to take a look at ourselves. You know what I mean? So it's just like if we could just be a little more kind to ourselves, maybe we'd be a little more kind to others. And I feel like part of that is just like acceptance of who we are, and recognizing the beauty of that, the beauty of being so uniquely you, just being one of one. You know what I mean? I feel like it's so much freedom in just being yourself and like not letting like fear and anxiety and all these other things like limit your self-expression and limit your being, if that makes sense. And to just like stop caring so much about what other people say or what other people think, what other people feel. Like everyone has their own things that make them unique. Everyone has their like own things that make them different. Everyone has their own things that they need to work on. So if we can just practice more like self-acceptance, I think things would be a lot better in the world, if I'm being honest. And even just like reveling in that freedom of like self-expression and being ourselves, being our authentic true selves at the heart of ourselves. You know what I mean? At the heart of who we are, like letting that shine forth. And obviously I know like depending on circumstances you may need to protect yourself. You can't give everyone all of you, obviously, but don't hide yourself, don't shrink yourself. There's so much beauty in who you are. There's so much beauty in the unique aspects that make you who you are. So don't be afraid to be that. Don't be afraid to be seen. Oh, and I'm talking to myself because that's something I still am like trying to work on, like being seen, showing up and like as someone who spent so much of my life like almost hiding in a way, so afraid of being perceived, so afraid of like being judged, so afraid of being like open to others, because it is such a like protection mechanism. I've noticed that, and it's something I even talked about in therapy when the realization kind of came through as to like why I operated in that way for so long. It was a way of protecting myself, because I am so like protective of myself that was my way of like, my form of protection is to kind of like water myself down, shrink myself, be really quiet, not be seen, like moving incognito, like I don't want to be perceived, don't look at me. But then I realized how much energy I was using on that. And granted, if it comes naturally, that's fine. If it comes naturally where I'm in a space where like I don't want to talk to anybody, I just want to be, then let that be. I'm not going to force myself to be social. I'm not going to force myself to show up in a way that does not feel comfortable for me. And I think that's part of it as well. So like, just be. And just like thinking about the calmness that comes with that, the calmness that comes with not judging yourself, not like creating narratives in your head about things or how people may see you, perceive you. Just like, who cares? Honestly, who cares? Because if you're going to spend your energy like watering yourself down or hiding or shrinking just to be accepted by other people, then they don't actually really accept you anyway. So that you're not really being accepted. Your representative is being accepted, and maybe not even then. You know what I mean? So like, what's the point? Like, why not just be yourself and find your real people, your true people who really rock with you, who really accept you for who you are? And that's a message. Ooh, that's a message for me. Damn. Instead of spending so much time trying to be, wear a mask, like, hi. You know what I mean? Like, instead of trying to spend so much time trying to like be the person I think I'm supposed to be, like, why not just be yourself? Let people fall in love with the real you. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get authentic relationships. That's how you build authentic connections, instead of like these surface level connections. When you get to the real heart of who you are, you get to the real heart of the matter, when you see each other for who you really are, when you drop the mask and the play pretend and all that stuff, when you're just like really, really, you have those moments, you know, when you've had those connections with people where you are just like, you drop everything and you're just raw, you're authentic, you're honest, and you have that connection, you connect on like these real things. That's what it's about. You know, you don't need any fake friendships, acquaintances, or anything like that. You don't need to fake it to connect with people. And I know not everything has to be so deep and meaningful all the time, but if you really do want to build like deep and meaningful connections with people, just be yourself. Even if you want to build a deep and meaningful connection with yourself, if we're being honest, just like be yourself. Don't be so afraid to be seen. And this is someone coming from someone who is still working on that. There's this level of fear and that comes with being yourself, right? Because we all want to be accepted. We all want to be, you know, I guess accepted in a sense, but like if you can just learn to accept yourself, you'll be okay. Know that you don't need, okay. I ran out of storage space, so I'm gonna wrap this up. If you can just learn how to accept yourself, you'll be okay. Learn how to accept yourself and you'll be okay. Know that you are a beautiful being who is so special just as you are, and you don't need to be somebody that you're not just to get other people to accept you. You'll find your people. You'll find your people. So I'm gonna end it there. That is the art of being yourself. I like this. I like this vibe. Obviously, you see, I was not going to overthink it. I just wanted to come just real raw, authentic. You see, that's why I'm holding this microphone, holding this snowball microphone to my mouth because I just I just want to just be here, chill and talk. But yeah, I'm even losing my light a little bit here, but that's it. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. That's the takeaway here. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to get more videos like this, and leave a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on this topic of being yourself. Or if there's something that you've been thinking about, wondering about, feeling like you feel like you may have to pretend or not be yourself or afraid to be yourself, let me know down below. But just know, like, there's nothing wrong with being you. There's nothing wrong with being yourself. Like, that's the beauty of this world. Like, there's so many of us here, and if we all trying to be like somebody else, then where's the individuality? Where's the truth in that, right? Like, that's what makes this world so beautiful. There's so many differences between us, and if we spend all our time trying to be like somebody else, talk like somebody else, act like somebody else, idolize somebody else, you're losing sight of who you are, who you really are, and all of the beautiful things that make up who you are. So never forget that there's so much beauty in you. So enjoy.